Again, when we say Maya refreshment. Anyway, some banana and stuff, guys. Neen Johnny. I'm Brie and I have a podcast. Kajano kizwa diske me. I get aware about that medical aid if tunzer lady levy. Like that's the thing that pisses me off. Like, why do I have to pay a levy fee if we're paying like thousands and thousands of rands for medical aid? Like, guirala. You know, when I levy to something, Come on, please that depression, please that anxiety, please that prevent, please that get out one or the two and medical aid is cover loads valid. These are valid purchases, valid medication. Anyway, guys, I'm trying out this new mic I got from Volcano. It was like $200 now. Tell me how the sound is like, because I don't know if I like it or not or whatever, but it's okay. I think sort of like, I guess so. Comment down below. Tell me how you like the mic. Today I'm very, very beautiful. Excuse me. I'm taking this thing seriously. I only have makeup on and I only made an effort to look pretty today because my mom said I should look less like a rat in my previous video. She said it to my fucking face on video time. I'm video call. Right. So again. Let me try to make an effort this time. The less anyway, guys, I was on live, and like people keep asking me, hey, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? And like my answer is always the same. Like, no, I don't have one. But do you like girls? Yes, I like girls. Or are you bi? No, I'm not bi. It's much more complicated than that. I like human beings, to be honest. I like human beings and I'm still figuring shit out for me because bi means I just like boys and girls. What about the transgender people? Because I happen to be attracted to some transgender men, some transgender women I find very fucking sexy. So I'm like, what about them? So I'm like, I'm not bi. I'm like, am I pansexual? But at the same time, I don't like the heterosexual men, but whatever. And I don't like heterosexual men. Yes, I'm still attracted to heterosexual men. I haven't ruled them out completely. But I just say I don't like them, you know. PTSD and stuff. Let's not get into that. We're gonna get into that, matter of fact. So yeah, you know, I don't have any plans of like being in a relationship or stuff like that. Like I'll probably be in a relationship in my 30s. Like I have so much to accomplish in this decade. I just turned 20. I turned 21 at the end of this year. I have so much to accomplish this decade. I want to be so content with where I am in life. By the time I turn 30, I must know, okay, I get 10 or 40, I can retire, or I have worked hard so I don't have to worry about this and that and that and this, or I can take care of like family members, or I can retire my parents, or I can afford to send my brothers to school, whatever, you know, I can afford to buy my brothers cars, my siblings cars, whatever. You know, I want to get to that point. Anyway, let's get into why I do not like men. The story begins in 2009, and I comment this a lot in my comment section on TikTok. Like people are always like, oh, who hurt you? Get everybody. I don't mean like everyone, but I mean like the story starts in 2009. 2009, I was in grade R, and I went to a co-ed primary school, and I was very innocent, very naive, very stupid. Like I thought the world was just rainbows and and pink. And I didn't like Barbie. I like Bratz. I thought like the world was like that. I was like such a diva and this and that. Like at the time, I was still the only child. I looked forward. I loved school at that time. I remember a lot from my childhood actually. And I remember this one time we were at the playground and I was on this jungle gym, not on the swing, on the jungle gym. Yeah? And these two boys who were both in my class, let's call them shithead number one and shithead number two. Shithead number one goes, I've never seen a female vagina. Shithead number two goes, oh yeah, me too. In my head, I'm like, don't you guys have moms? Like, doesn't she get naked in front of you? Boy, you're only like 5. What do you mean you've never seen a female vagina and stuff like that? And then I was like, what? You haven't? There's no way you be like your mom gets naked in front of you. They were like, yeah. I'm like, okay, then describe it. Then they described a female vagina. And then they proceeded to go, can you show us yours? And at the time I was 5. I didn't really think I was doing any harm by showing them my fucking vagina. But I didn't like spread my legs open or anything. It was it was like quick. Like I didn't take off my pants like where I was on a fucking jungle gym. I was making sure that nobody saw. So I went, this is how it looks. And then I put my pants back on real quick again. And then I covered up again. And then they went, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I'm like, wait, but you asked me to show you. What do you mean? I felt so fucking betrayed and manipulated. I'm not gonna lie. I felt so stupid. Like, at the time, I didn't know what manipulation and betrayal was, but like, I felt like I couldn't trust them anymore. Anything they said, I couldn't trust anymore. And I remember they held it against me for a good 3 to 4 years. Like every time my dad would come fetch me from school, they'd be like, hi. They'd be like, oh, there's your dad. Let's run and go tell. Shithead number one would tell shithead number two, let's run and go tell her. And I'd be like, no. And I'd plead with them. And I remember they would still torment me about it in like first grade, second grade, at break or whatever. And they'd say it in front of classmates, mind you. And I would deny, and then go to the fucking bathrooms and cry my ass out. Like I would cry. Cool. First grade passes through, they still holding it over my head. Second grade comes through and they still holding it over my head. But second grade, I learned what a crush is. So I developed a crush for this boy in my class. Let's call him shithead number 3. Cool. Shithead number 3 had a friend who was tall and light skinned. Let's call him shithead number 4. Shithead number 4 had a crush on me, but I didn't like shithead number 4. We were just friends, and we were always friends, even if we see each other, even if we bump into each other today, we greet each other, hi, how are you doing? I'm good. Oh, where do you live now? I live in Joburg, whatever, this and that. It's cool. It's cool, no animosity in anything. And I had a crush on shithead number 3 so bad. But at that time, like, usually kids' teeth start falling out at like 5, 6. Mine started falling out very late at like 7, 8. Like, it was crazy. I was in second grade with like no teeth. And my peers' teeth fell out in like grade 1. And like I still had my milk teeth by then. And most of my teeth were like milk teeth. And I didn't have my 2 front teeth. And I had very rotten teeth because at that time I was obsessed with sweets. Well, I still am. I still have a sweet tooth. But I had very rotten teeth. And like I was very dark because we would play in the sun a lot. I mean, we're in second grade. Come on. Kids get dark because they play in the sun a lot. We're spending 6 to 7 hours at school. I am gonna get dark because I played a lot at school. I didn't just chill and sit. No, I was on the field. Cool. I had a crush on shithead number 3, nah. And I remember this one time we were going to assembly, we were lining up and it was CV's day. and I wore my best outfit, this Justin Bieber shirt. I loved it so much because I was such a fan of Justin Bieber at the time. And I was wearing these jeans and my new sneakers. And we were on in the line on the way to assembly. And shithead number 4 was like, oh nah, shithead number 3 knew I had a crush on him because I had told him a long time ago. Like, I'm not scared to tell a guy like I like you. You know, we don't have to do anything about it. We don't have to get into a relationship or whatever. Um you don't have to like me back. I mean, but I'm gonna tell you that I have a crush on you and let's keep it like that. I don't want us to be boyfriend and girlfriend or anything. Like, no. Let's not act on that. Let's keep it like that, okay? And I remember he shithead number 3 knew. And I remember shithead number 4 going, it was CV's day and I was like decked out. I thought I was eating these bitches down. Like, I thought I looked great. And shithead number 4 was like, oh, between me and shithead number 3, who do you like? Whose outfit do you like the most? And like, shithead number 3's outfit wasn't that dope. Shithead number 4's outfit was cool, but we were friends. So I knew what he was trying to do. He was trying to like out me and, like embarrass me in front of my classmates so they can know, like out me so they would know that I had a crush on shithead number 3. So I said, I like shithead number 3's outfit, I like shithead number 3. And like, the crush fizzled out in like 3rd grade. 4th grade comes. That's when I started wearing glasses, right? And they used to tease me and say the meanest thing about me. Like, I was born partially blind, but we didn't find out until I was in 4th grade. My 4th grade teacher had to tell my mom, like, hey, she has a problem seeing and we constantly have to move her to the front of the class. So could you please get her eyesight checked out? And I remember at that time, guys, it wasn't cool to wear glasses. You see, now I wear glasses. I look great wearing glasses. Glasses have changed and evolved. Now glasses are cool. They're beautiful. They have different shapes, frames, this and that. At that time, we had very limited frames, especially for kids my age. I was 9, for fuck's sake. I wasn't going to start wearing fucking Dolce and Gabbana. I had an option between like Hello Kitty and like whatever and this and that, like I didn't have options. So I had these Hello Kitty glasses and my lens was very thick because, like I said, I'm partially blind. And they would make fun of me so much. Like, I hated wearing my glasses. Not only that, but at that time my mom was very scared of me losing my glasses, so she had bought me these strings that connected to the glasses like this, and they would hang around my neck like this. So whenever I got tired of my glasses, I would just take them off and they would hang around my neck, right? And people would call me grandma because all the old teachers, and by old I mean like senior citizen old, all the old teachers had like the same strings and stuff like that. And it was like my mom bought them for safety. She didn't think like I would get bullied. Neither did I. I was like, oh, me too. Because at that point, I was still not responsible as yet. I would lose things a lot. And my mom didn't want me losing classes. You know how expensive classes are sometimes. And I remember my mom, oh yeah, I remember they would make fun of me. Like, oh, grandma. They would call me grandma. They would say, oh, she can't see, or she's blind, or how many fingers am I holding? By the way, when you say that to someone who can't see, that's very offensive, guys. Not only is it offensive, it's very disrespectful because we can see human beings. We're not completely blind. Things are just blurry, but we can see that you're holding 4 fingers. We just can't see a proper outline. At least that's how myopia works. I don't know for other like eyesight problems, but I have myopia and that's how it works. Like, I can see human beings. I have to, when I'm not wearing my glasses, I make sure I memorize other people's body shapes, how they walk, the size of their heads. Always. I memorize the size of their heads, their body shapes, and the way they walk. And I can tell, oh, that's my mom, or that's my dad, or that's my cousin, or that's my friend that's my friend, or that's how I identify people. And also, I'm very good with voices, and I also memorize the way people walk, like the sound of their footsteps. Like, I know how my mom walks, I know how my friends walks. Each and every single one of them have different walks. I know who's coming behind me or who's walking towards me or whatever, right? So yeah, stop fucking asking me how many fingers you're holding. I can see you're holding 5 fingers. Don't be stupid. Don't be ignorant. Anyway, so they would make fun of me because of my eyesight and stuff like that. And I remember, like, fourth grade went by, fifth grade came through, and fifth grade is when I became an actual bitch. Like, if you think I'm mean now, I was mean. I was meaner back then. Like, I would say the most wild things. Please, I would cuss out people's mothers right in front of their faces. Like, I didn't care about anyone at that point. I would spend each and every fucking single week in detention. Fifth grade, sixth grade, worst time in primary school. Wait, give me a second. Oh, excuse me. So fifth grade, I remember waking up on a random day and I was like, oh, fuck everyone and their mom. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people making my life very difficult. And at that time, I had started my period. I started my period in fifth grade, and I remember when I started my period, when I hit teenagehood, me and my mom started having beef. I don't know why my mom and I started having beef when I started becoming a teenager, but me and my mom were very close, and I would tell her everything. And then teenagehood hit, and then I got my period. And then it was like, oh my God, I just feel like she doesn't understand anything I'm going through and stuff like that. And I still feel the same way. Like, I just don't feel like it's a safe space to tell her everything. Like, no, I'm going to tell her what went on in my day, like, whatever. But like, like at that time, my mom was still very strict. Like, she's not strict now because, she has more children. And, when parents have more children, they become very lenient all of a sudden. Like, who are these fucking strangers in my house? And what have you done to my parents? Anyway, so at that time, my mom was still very strict, and I felt like I couldn't tell her anything. Like, I couldn't tell her about crushes and boys. She'd always talk about pregnancy and stuff like that. I'm like, no, man, I'm not talking about being sexually active. I'm just talking about I have a crush on this boy. Like, whatever, like, at that time, me and my mom started having beef. I don't know why. I feel like when girls, especially in African households, when the firstborn daughter starts to become her own person and starts to have her own thoughts, she starts to, like, all of a sudden, everybody has beef with her. Like, now all of a sudden, I can't have my own thoughts and my own opinion and stuff like that. Like, stuff like that. When I'll patele rente or how na mabaka, whatever, like, whatever. And at that time, people in my hood were bullying me. They used to bully me a lot just because I went to a better school on the other side of the city. That was when we still lived in the hood. And because, like, I spoke English, I didn't really know how to speak my home language at that point. And also, they would be mad at everything. If my mom came back home with fucking takeaways, because my mom didn't cook on Fridays, if she came home with takeaways, they would be mad. They'd bully me all weekend. If I got a new phone, they'd bully me. If, like, maybe, like, I got Christmas clothes because they'd bully me. They'd know, like, if I got an award at school, like, for prize giving and stuff like that, and, like, I would tell them about it, they would, like, be like, like, they'd bully me. Like, it was so hard. Like, not only were people making my life difficult at school, they were making it hard at home, and I also felt like it wasn't a safe space with my parents at home. So, I lost, and then I became depressed in, like, 7th grade. Anyway, but I'm not done with the whole boy situation. In 5th grade, I became a villain. 6th grade, I started dating this guy. He broke up with me during fucking inter-house athletics in the fucking morning. I didn't even perform my best. I was an athlete in primary school. I didn't perform great because this little boy broke up with me, and I really liked him and stuff. And then 7th grade, this guy was dead to date me. Because at that point, like, I was an actual, like, fucking mean girl. Like, I was a bitch. And apparently there was a bet going around saying whoever can get Rito to be their, like, girlfriend, like, you win the bet or whatever. I don't know what the fuck he won, but yeah, he won. He managed to convince me to be his, and he asked me to be his girlfriend on Friday. Monday morning, he came to me, told me straight to my face, "Hey, I was there to ask you to be my girlfriend. I don't really like you like that." That shattered me. That shattered me. That boy is blocked today. He is blocked. He will not have access to me ever again. I still haven't forgiven him. Like, I hope wherever he is, he's suffering. Bitch, I hope he dies. A very gruesome death at that. Anyway. And I remember being like, and I was in 7th grade and I was shattered. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm done with this boy thing. And I wrote off boys, and since then, you know, but there was a point in high school where I dated this guy. He was very old. But like, that didn't last long. It wasn't really bad or anything. We just broke up because it was long distance. So I was like, yeah, that's why I don't trust men. Oh yeah, no. Also, I have terrible experiences with men. Like, the older I grow up, the more my experience and encounters with men becomes more and more dangerous and more fucking life threatening. Like, you know, following me around the mall, grape, sexual harassment. I've experienced it all, you know. So yeah, I don't trust men at all. I don't at all. I don't trust them. I don't have respect for them. And I know, like, other men shouldn't be punished, but they should. From my point of view, every man should be punished. Like, leswaning, kantiging, leswaning. Lalapisa le nadi Y chromosome. Yes. But anyway, yesterday I was chilling with my friends in between classes, and they were like, my friend Lindo Uche, she was like, "Don't you, like, sometimes yearn to be in a relationship?" I'm like, no, not really. Sometimes I'll wish to have someone to talk to, you know, like, sometimes I wish to have someone to talk to confide in, or sometimes I wish like, you know, when I don't know, someone to gossip with. Like, I can't tell my mom everything. Like, I mean, hello, no, but she's my friend, which is sad as fuck, because me and my mom are like opposites, so we butt heads a lot, which is sad as fuck. You know, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't be friends with your mom. Just my mom and I's relationship is very, like, complicated. And, like, I was like, yeah, sometimes I yearn to trust someone, like, with my life to that level, you know. But then I remember that, bitch, you can afford therapy and you have a therapist, so you can go confide in her. Fuck relationships. And fuck people, because people are always gonna take, and you're gonna give, and it's really not gonna take you anywhere in life. Where has people pleasing ever taken anyone? Let's be fucking honest right now. Where has people pleasing ever taken you? How do you feel about yourself? Like, what have you gained from pleasing people and putting other people's feelings, emotions, and, you know, priorities first? Putting other people above you. Where has that taken you? Because I can tell you, it's not going to take you very far. Like, oh my God, no, I feel nice when I do good things for people. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be mean. I'm not saying be unkind, be unfriendly. You can do all of that, but also set boundaries. And I set really, really strong boundaries, which is why I don't have friends outside school. And I would like to keep it that way because I have terrible experiences with friends. You know, some friends have tried to kill me. Crazy. Found out some friends have tried to poison me. They always try to sabotage me. Do you ever have a friend that you're always arguing with? Like, always fucking arguing with? Yeah, no, I don't have good thingies with friends, and I'm a loner. Apparently, people hate loners. I'm like, they're always like, oh my God, I thought you were a bitch. I'm like, no, I'm not really a bitch. I'm just protecting my peace. You know, I'm always going to protect my peace. I'm always going to protect my peace. But protecting my peace has left me friendless, which is probably why I'm not going to have a graduation party and I'm not going to have a 21st party. I'll probably just, take my ass to the beach. It'll just be me, my mom, and my siblings. We'll go to Durban, Cape Town, wherever the beach is. Nice, Nazi, Zikama, anywhere affordable, anywhere we can afford. And we'll just have a good time and, we'll cut cake and chill in the guest house or in the hotel we have booked. Yeah. I'm a loner, but it's okay to be a loner, Sometimes, to be honest, I love being alone. I just hate feeling lonely. And it hits at the most random times. Like, I'll be trying to sleep and then I'm like, oh my God, you sad ass bitch. But then I wake up in the morning and then usually I drink my antidepressants at a certain time in the morning. My alarm rings and then tells me, hey, bitch, drink your fucking drugs. And then I feel better about myself until nighttime comes and then I have to drink my anxiety medication, my sleeping medication, and then I doze the fuck out. But but the only thing that's keeping me going, if I'm being truthful with you guys, the only thing that's really keeping me going is the fact that I've already envisioned my life. I already know the kind of life I want. I've already seen it. I already know where I want to be in the next 10, 20 years. And I'm not going to stop until I get that. No matter how much I try to kill myself or whatever, this and that, like, I'm not stopping. I have to get there. There's so many people that have told me I'm never going to get there. And I have to show them that, hey, remember you told me this at break in high school? We were sitting on the fucking benches and you said I was never going to get here. I'm here now. How do you feel about yourself? Where are you? Bitch. And that's the only thing that keeps me going. Yeah. And yeah. The most powerful thing to ever be is to be underestimated. I have it written right here on my whiteboard. Sometimes the most powerful thing to be is underestimated. It is when you're underestimated, you hold such great power. Like, let them underestimate you. Let them think that you can never achieve things like that and just surprise them, Yeah. And remember why you started and also keep going no matter how hard it gets. Like the other day, I had slept at 2 a.m. because I have insomnia and I had run out of sleeping pills. And I had to be awake at 6 a.m. And I remember when my alarm rang and I was like, no. But then I was like, resting is for losers. Losers rest. They get a lot of sleep. Are you a loser? You're not a loser, right? So get your ass up and go to school because you said you wanted to graduate, right? On time with fucking distinctions. So get your ass up and go to work. The Kim Kardashian reference. Get it? Never mind. Um, so yeah, I'm never gonna stop. Who's banging doors? And I'm never gonna. I hope I get to a point where I also trust men, Shem, because even when I speak to my mom and I tell her I go, men are pieces of shit. Well, I don't say it like that because I'm not allowed to cuss in front of my mom, but she gets it. And she'd be like, "Ritu, not all men." But my mom has found a man that loves her unconditionally. I'm like, every time I try this njolo thing, whether it's with a girl, with a man, I don't feel like anybody understands me to a level where I want them to understand me. And also, I don't feel like people prioritize me the way I prioritize them. So I keep my distance until I'm content with where I want to be professionally and academically. Then I'll be like, okay, let me actually, I go to therapy to release. I don't go to therapy to become a better person. That's me being honest right now. Like, yeah, I go to therapy so I can talk to someone because I have no one to talk to. I don't go to therapy to become a better person. As soon as I leave therapy, I forget everything she told me. I'm always like, oh, it felt great to talk to someone. And then I leave. But maybe when I'm where I want to be professionally and where I want to be academically, then I will go to therapy to actually work on myself. Until then, I'm chilling and I'm always gonna hustle and grind. And I'm never gonna stop. You guys are never gonna stop hearing from me, Tune in every fucking Saturdays, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed telling you guys about my life. Well, that's not half of it. That's not even the tip of the iceberg, babe. But at least you guys understand why I have a deep rooted hate for men and the other gender, PTSD and stuff. We'll get more into that in the next coming episodes, but don't forget to subscribe. If you guys are listening on Apple Music, please follow my podcast channel. Follow me on Spotify, and on all podcast streaming platforms. I'm everywhere. Yeah, and I hope the right people are listening. I don't want to get on the wrong side of the internet and then people are dragging me because I'm, like, my job here is not to fucking motivate people. My job here is to fucking just speak my truth. There are many podcasts that are out there talking about pop culture, are out there talking about unpopular opinions and this and that. Like, if you want to hear other people's opinions of fucking science bullshit trending or this and that, then go listen to other podcasts. But if you want to better yourself and grow and understand why you are the way you are, then come listen to me speak to a mic and a camera to a bunch of strangers on the internet. But I love you guys. The other day I was on live and telling my followers that I love them so much. I don't think you understand. I have the right people following me. Like, I have found my niche. Even if I say wild things, my followers will never be like, oh, I disagree with you. They always like, and I'm always like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, they get me. I feel like, they understand that I'm a lunatic and they're also lunatics because lunatics follow each other. But we get each other. Also, my subscribers get me, and I just hit 200 subscribers. I'm so excited. The other day I was literally celebrating. I try to call my brother, but he's always busy. He's in 8th grade. He's 8th grade is kicking his ass, and he encourages me to post and to be consistent, and he wants to see me grow too. He's my best friend, my broke best friend, and then I have my youngest brother who's 7. He's also my broke best friend, but he said he's not my broke best friend anymore because he has 105 rands. saved up. He saved up 105 rands. So he's no more my broke friend. The other time on video call, he said, I'm not your broke friend anymore. I'm not your broke best friend anymore. I now have money. So he's my not broke best friend anymore. And I love them. My biggest support system. You know, every time I shoot TikToks or they want to dance with me, or they help me when I film at home, they help me set up, they help me with everything. So I love them to death, and shout out to them. Shout out to my followers. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow my podcast channels on Spotify and Apple Music and all podcast things, streaming sites. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. Bye guys.